Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's another amazing evening today and I'm just so excited to be here to share some of my experiences in the dating scene, or should I say in relationships. And I don't know if it's only me who has these weird experiences or there's somebody else who gets through or goes through such similar experiences. I think about, have you ever heard of the phrase stupid in love? I don't know if it's only me who've ever been stupid in love, or there are other people who've been stupid in love like me. So my mind takes me back to 2012. 2012, yes, 2012, the end of 2012. So I'm a student in campus, just running about my daily activities, enjoying my stay in campus, my studies, having fun with my friends. And by the way, like all my friends in campus were dating. And me, I was just there from first year, imagine. From first year to third year, I was just there. And I remember one of my friends trying to hook me up with someone, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work because they were like, now you, why are you not dating? Why are you not dating? Then here comes 2012 when I'm just about to clear campus, and the guild president then was my friend and my classmate. So here comes an opportunity that he's supposed to he's the one who has been obligated with the mandate to appoint commissioners, like electoral commissioners, for the guild presidential elections that were meant to happen. So he looks at the mass communication department because he had to select somebody from the, or appoint somebody from the mass communication department, and he tells me like that he thinks I'm the most suitable candidate from the mass communication department and he asks me if I would like to be appointed as an electoral commissioner, of which I say yes to, and I'm just so excited for the position, and just to meet all the other new team members and just see what happens like in an election, in students guild election. Little did I know that my little drama was about to begin. Should I say my little drama, or should I say my drama come fun experience was just about to happen with that appointment. So day one, we are like, we need to like meet each other and get oriented on what to do, also decide on which days for the elections for every campus. So we meet, and I'm among the first people to arrive. If you know me very well, you know that I really don't like getting into places late. So among the first people to arrive. So we arrive and we get into the guild president's office. There was a section like that was just was secluded for like meetings, so we meet in that room, and I'm just there, and we are seated just chatting. The meeting hasn't started yet. We are waiting for everybody to come and join us. So we are just seated chatting, and then like a few minutes before the meeting begins, there's this hot dude who walks in, and I tell you, he's hot. Like, he has these round sexy eyes, like his complexion is just perfect, and then his height is just perfect, and then the way he walks in so calmly, and then he sits down, and then there's something he does to his eyes that like they just go around, and I'm like, okay, wow, this is it. So that's it. And then coincidentally, we sit like across each other, so we are facing each other. And I could realize that throughout the meeting, it's like we were exchanging glances with each other. But that day ends, and it's just that like we share our names. By the time I was leaving that room, I couldn't even remember his name. I think there's only one lady who I remembered her name, because she was a lady, and I was like, okay, like this is the person whose contact I'll take, so that she'll be briefing me, because I didn't used to study in the main campus. My campus was in town, so at least I needed somebody to give me information if there's a meeting that has been set, like to tell me. Funny enough, we we didn't have WhatsApp then, so like we couldn't form a WhatsApp group, or rather maybe WhatsApp was there, but somebody like me, I didn't have WhatsApp. So I couldn't know like if a meeting date has been set, so I needed somebody to depend on since I was studying away from the main campus. So we become friends with Damaris. We are friends and until today. So it's Damaris that I kind of peg on to let me know every time we have a meeting or every time a different communication has been passed. So on the next day of our meeting, like we are meeting with other team members from other campuses, and like this day everybody comes, and now this guy comes in again, and to make the matters worse, or should I say it was a blessing in disguise, he comes and he sits next to me, and I'm like, okay, gentleman. And then we start talking, and we realize that we share a lot in common. At the end of the day, we share contacts. Now in the next 3 consecutive meetings, like this guy just doesn't turn up. He doesn't turn up completely, and I'm like, who agrees to be appointed as a commissioner and misses like 3 consecutive meetings? Like, dude, what are you doing here? So in the evening I asked him like, hey, how are you? How have you been? We haven't seen you for 3 days. Where have you been, or what's up with you? And he explains his schedule to me. He tells me like he's taking a medical course, and their course is very rigorous and there's no room for failure, because if you fail, you are not licensed to practice. So he can't miss so much lessons. I think for me, I was very lucky because I have a good rapport with my lecturers. So if in case I missed a class, I would talk to the lecturer, and then they would give me a head up of what they taught. I would still get my notes, and then my classmates were also very supportive. I remember Paris Akinyi. From that time, she was very supportive. Until to date, she has remained my friend because of just how she supported me when I was a commissioner and I was missing some of the classes. So that's just by the way. Let's get back to this hot dude. So we keep talking, like we end up texting each other a lot. We are talking a lot, and one time he asks me, where do you stay? Do you stay around campus? And I tell him, no, I stay in town. And we plan a date and we meet. And I'm like, okay, I'm almost finishing, because I was in 3rd year, and I'm like, now I'm almost finishing, I'll graduate. And something tells me like this guy is just so hot, like see, like don't relax, you lose him. Like, don't be like so hard, you lose this guy, you'll graduate and you'll go back to Kenya and you'll lose this guy because he was a Ugandan. And this is now the point where I tell you that you should never rush love. If it's meant to be yours, and if it's meant to come to you, it will come to you without a doubt. No matter where you are, or no matter your distance, it will come to you a doubt. So I kind of think like we rushed things. We started dating before we knew each other very well, and maybe that's why we had a lot of conflicts. Like in the beginning, it was very nice, it was very sweet, and then now there just came a point where I kind of felt like I was being ignored. Like I felt I was being ignored, because there are times, hey, that's the first time like somebody ever blacklisted my number. Have you ever been blacklisted, and how did it feel like? That was the time like somebody like literally blacklisted my number. And imagine, my number has been blacklisted, and me, I'm just there still in love. Ever talked of stupid in love? I don't think I'd ever be that stupid in love again. Imagine my number has been blacklisted, and here I am, I'm still boarding a mat, like a bus. I'm going to town, I'm going to the main campus to look for this guy. To look for this guy. Imagine somebody has blacklisted your number and you're just still there, like you are looking for this guy. And I remember Like Vena used to tell me like, hey Sharon, like you're taking a lot of bullshit, like what is it? Even in the name of love, if somebody cares about you, they shouldn't need to like blacklist you. Like blacklist is the highest form of madharau. I remember her telling me that, but I was like, no. Actually, I used to take the blames. I used to put the blames on myself, like, oh, maybe it's my fault. That's why he's behaving this way. It's my fault. That's why perhaps he doesn't pick calls and doesn't bother to like call back. It's my fault. Maybe that's why he doesn't text. And I think when I look back, I realized that like love should be a two-way thing. It should be a two-way thing. Yes, sometimes people are busy. If you're busy and you just need to like maybe later, if somebody cares about you, no matter how busy they are, they would remember to call you back. They would remember to text you back. Don't assume that those missed calls were not seen, like the messages were not seen. My friend, your messages were delivered. You're just being ignored. Your messages were delivered. Your phone calls were seen. You're just being ignored. So don't like don't like take the blame on yourself or put some assumptions. If somebody cares about you, they care. If they don't care, they don't care, and you just need to take it that they don't care. So so we go on like that. He'd blacklist my number, and then a few days later or a week later, he'd re-enlist my number and then call me. And then me, stupid Sharon, after my number has been enlisted and I'm called, like I don't even ask Ati, why would you blacklist my number? If we have an issue, why don't we sit down and talk about it? I'm there, I'm so excited, like, hey, this guy has called, my hot dude has called. So we pick it from where we left. So we never really used to like solve our misunderstandings. If we had a misunderstanding, he would blacklist my number, and then after a few days, a week later, he would re-enlist me and he would call, he would start like by texting like, hi honey, hi sweetie, how are you doing? And then we'd pick it from there and just continue with our journey. So it was just like that. We are on and we are off. So this is the point where I say that there's a maximum level of, or should I say a minimum, there's a maximum level of like misunderstandings that should be like allowed in a relationship, or when you are dating somebody. If the misunderstandings are too much, like you're back and forth, always misunderstanding, breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up, no, that means you're incompatible, and you just need to like sit down and realize that no matter how much you care for this person, no matter how much you love this person, you are incompatible, and let it go when it's too early. Let it go when like you still have enough time to let it go. So this is me after I've graduated. I remember the period when we were graduating, because we graduated together. That period, like we had a misunderstanding. We weren't talking to each other, and it was just these issues of, you are not picking my calls, you are not returning my calls, you are not responding to my messages, just like that. And you know, when you keep telling someone the same thing over and over again, it sounds like you are nagging. So it was just about that. So this period, like we are not talking, but I, Sharon Liana, I have a lot of faith and hope with this relationship. Aki, just call me stupid in love, because me, I even used to go on my knees and pray like, God, really, God, make this relationship work. Even when I could clearly see that this is headed nowhere. It's headed nowhere. And I'm just still kneeling down and I'm like, God, give me a sign, let this work, give me a sign. And I remember the day I was kneeling down and I told God, give me a sign. If this is the guy, God, let him call me today. And he didn't call. And instead of taking that as a sign from God that he's not the one, too much in love, like I was too much in love, I still just ignored that, and we continued. So we are here, we are graduating, we are not talking to each other. We are not talking to each other because like before graduation, I was in Uganda doing my like working on my thesis, working on my project. So when he was leaving, when he was going back home, actually he didn't even tell me that he's leaving. Imagine he's sat for his final exams and he's going back to his hometown, which is quite far from where our campus was, and he didn't tell me. I just got to know about it through a random call. So I called him randomly. I'm like, hi, how are you doing? How have you been? And he's like, I'm okay. And then he tells me, I'm even in my way. I'm on my way. I'm just about to leave campus. I'm traveling back home. And I'm like, what? You're traveling back home and you didn't tell me you're going? And that's me, still stupid in love. I don't see that there's something wrong with this. So me, I tell him like, wait a little bit. I'll be there in a short while. So I shower, I dress up and chap. Actually, I bought a motorbike. Very fast. I'm there to bid him goodbye. So we are there, I'm bidding him goodbye, we are talking, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy is leaving. I really care for this guy, I really love this guy. I wish he could stay even for just 2 more days before he leaves. So I'm trying to bargain with him, and I'm telling him, do you have to leave today? Like, take even some 2 days so that we talk. Actually, the reason why I wanted us to talk is just like to like maybe see where are we headed to, like if we could sort our small misunderstandings, because they were not big misunderstandings. He wasn't cheating. He wasn't the guy who cheats. He wasn't the guy like who fights with you. No, it was just those like 2 little dramas, like he doesn't pick your calls, he blocks your calls, like he takes your number to blacklist, or he throws words. So I felt like those were very petty things, like small things that we would talk about and maybe try to understand where the misunderstanding was coming from, so that we start on a new page. That's why I literally wanted him to like stay back even for 3 days or 2 days before he goes, but he said no, he has to go home. And then when we bid each other goodbye, like I'm just still there. I don't want to let him go. Like I want him to stay by. So he came and he brought his hand to me. He wanted to hug me, and I pulled back. Because I just didn't want him to go. And then he got upset and he's like, I've given you my hand, I wanted to hug you, and you pulled back, so let me go. So that was another misunderstanding. And that was the last time we ever saw each other. That was another misunderstanding. And you know, even after this misunderstanding, like I was still sending applications, job applications in Uganda. I remember I even went to NTV Uganda and dropped my application. Like I really had hope and faith that this would work out. So the reason why I was sending job applications in Uganda, the reason why I wanted to stay back in Uganda was just for this one man. Like I really had hopes that this would work out, because I really cared for him. I really loved him. Like he's very attractive. He's very attractive. And now that takes me to another point. Like, don't just be attracted to the physical. Don't just be attracted to the physical. The physical is really deceptive. Be attracted to people's hearts. Be attracted to how people treat you. Be attracted to how people respond to conflict. Like you really know who a person is in the midst of conflict. That's when you really know who a person is in the midst of conflict. If they can stay calm in the midst of conflict, if they can address issues with you in the midst of conflict without letting you feel so emotionally derailed, or letting you feel so emotionally spoiled, then I think they're good. If you can sit down and talk to each other and solve your misunderstandings, then you are good to go. Physical attraction, it can mess you up. Physical attraction is very important, because it's the basis of everything. It's the basis of what like makes you want to be with somebody. Is the basis of what makes you want to kiss somebody. Is the basis of what makes you want to get intimately involved with somebody. But it's not everything. So he leaves. I was at the point where I'm still taking my job applications to media houses in Uganda. Like I take my applications to Ginger, I take my application to NBS TV station, I take my application to NTV Uganda, I take my application to another NGO that was in Uganda. I really quite can't remember its name. It was in Iganga town. I take my application there, and actually they give me like a chance to work with them for 2 days. I take photographs for them. I take photographs and videography for them for 2 days. And I hung around, and everyone at home is asking me like, when are you coming back to Kenya? Actually, they felt like I wasn't going to come back. Everyone is asking me, you had already graduated, when are you coming back? My aunts are asking me, when are you coming back to Kenya? I don't know. I don't know, maybe they suspected me for something. You know, I've always been a suspect ever since I was a child. I've always been a suspect, me and my cousin, for mischief. But when I grow up, that mischief went, but they just didn't believe that I'm no longer mischievous. So I think maybe I was a suspect. Maybe they suspected that I was pregnant, or they suspected that I was living with a man. I don't know, but I just felt like they suspected me because they were asking a lot, even my grandmother, that when are you coming back to Kenya? When are you coming back home? And I'd give them an excuse. I'd tell them like, my transcript is not ready, my certificate is not ready, and I can't come without my transcript or my certificate, just to give me like so that I can buy time and see if we could solve like this misunderstanding. I even wanted to travel and go to like so far, like in Port Fortal. Port Fortal is in western Uganda. It's quite a distance from where I stayed in Iganga, and it's also quite a distance from Kampala, but I was willing to travel just to go and see him, and so that we could make up amendments or like solve our misunderstanding. And it didn't work. It didn't work because when I wanted to go and see him, he gave me an excuse. He told me like he's very far, and I didn't mind the distance. I didn't mind how far it was, but still there I was, stupid in love. They say ukipendwa pendeka, ukiachwa achika. But I was just here, just still hoping and clinging on. Then finally, I decided to pack my bags, go back home. I decided to pack my bags and go back to Kenya. So that's when I tell myself like, it's over. I remember that that day, like before I traveled the next day, I cried my eyes out. And I said, okay, this seems like it's over. And I told myself that this is the last time that I would shed a tear in the name of love. I told myself that this is the last time that I would be this stupid in love. And this is the last time that I would be very stupid and cry in the name of love. Like I cried, literally I cried. Then after crying, the next day I woke up, I took a shower. I remember like I had long hair. I took a shower, I dressed up, and I went to a photo studio. And I really had the studio like take really pretty photos of me. And then from the studio, I went to the barber. I shaved my hair, and I said every drama, every nonsense, every stupidity in the name of love, it's going down with the hair. It's going down with the hair. I would never be this stupid, this silly in love. And there are things that I decided from that day that I would never take from anyone. Be it someone pursuing me, be it someone I'm in a relationship, there are things I said that I would never take them. I would state my my stand just from the start, so that you know my stand, so that whoever is pursuing me or whoever I'm dating knows my stand and clearly knows that there are things that I really can't take. There are certain level of bullshit that I really can't take. So to me, it was really a beautiful experience. Like I learned so much about me, and it also like taught me like who am I, who I am, and what I can stand, what I can't stand. And I would say that to a very large extent, it determines like who I take in my life. Like if somebody is pursuing me, I could actually clearly tell like, hey, this one is a joker. This one maybe in the next 3 months will just turn up to be like somebody else. I could just see somebody and I know that this one is a joker or this one is a serious person. And I state my point like at the start. I clearly say like, this is what I can take, this is what I can take, or this is what I can't take. And I don't know about you, I don't know about your experience, but this is just my experience that it really shaped me. And I'm not saying that anyone was bad or anyone was good, because I know I also had my flaws. I can't say that I was perfect. I also had my flaws, but I think both of us learned. like we still talk like we are friends. We still talk, and is really amazing, is really amazing. But one thing that I learned, that is, no matter how amazing he is, or no matter how amazing I could be to him, like we aren't compatible. And he used to say this, by the way. There's a time he openly and clearly told me, like, we are not compatible. But still, this was me, Sharon, that stupid in love, stupid in love, stupid in love, stupid in love. Imagine somebody tells you that you are not compatible, but you are there, you are stupid in love, you're just still holding your heart and believing that things will work out. So I would tell you that if somebody tells you that you are not compatible, my friend, walk it out, walk it out. If somebody tells you that they feel you are not compatible with them, just walk it out, walk it out. Don't stay there. You are still hoping that things will work. Which things will work? Which ones? Where? How? How? Where? Which ones? Things only work if both of you want things to work. If both of you want things to work. But if one person already feels like it cannot work, then truly it cannot work. But either way, don't be afraid to love, because in every person there is something to learn. In every person there is something to learn. In every relationship there is something to learn. That's my little story. I don't know if you felt entertained, or if you have a story as similar as mine. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if you have a similar experience like mine. And are you still friends? Do you still talk? Or you cannot see eye to eye, because as we still talk, but from a distance, just like friends. Until next time, this has been me, Sharon Liana. Please remember to subscribe, comment, and don't forget to hit the notification button. Bye.